Nose ring theory. Always has to be some dude in my comments going, septum ring theory.
What's your septum piercing theory?
You know, that's not very nice.
Can anyone tell me what the septum ring theory is?
Oh, septum theory? Oh, you don't like my septum piercing? Bye!
Bye, Felicia.
Septum piercings are less about style, more about broadcasting unresolved issues to the world and then pretending it's empowerment.
You're absolutely correct. And in fact, I have 4 separate rings in my septum, and I get a new one every time I ruin a man's life.
Alright kids, I just woke up and I saw this comment and was like, what does this mean? So I did my little research on the internet, the TikTok search bar, and it turns out that I'm fucking crazy. I mean, he ain't wrong. I'm in therapy, I'm medicated, and by whatever, I pure shit.
Women run straight to the internet like it's some magic oracle, searching TikTok or Google as if it's going to hand them the truth they want to hear. But the second the answers don't line up with their fantasy, suddenly it's misogyny or everyone's attacking me. They want validation, not reality. The internet isn't their therapist, but they treat it like one. And when reality checks hit harder than comfort, they cry victim instead of taking accountability. It's not that the answers aren't there. It's that they don't like what the mirror is showing them.
I just learned what the septum ring theory is, and if you don't know what the septum ring theory is, it's what the unemployed assume is a big gotcha moment. The septum ring theory assumes that if you have a septum ring or a nose ring, you're probably a crazy, radical, feminist, leftist, liberal, what have you. You know, they use those terms interchangeably because English is hard when you only speak one language. They're like, she dyed her hair, pierced her septum, and bought some crystals. Like, cool, bro. You started a podcast that no one listens to, and blame your ex for everything after 2017. So self-expression is a red flag, but your Reddit addiction is not? These guys act like they're Sherlock Holmes for noticing a nose ring. Ah, yes, Watson. The subject has a nose piercing. That must mean she's emotionally erratic and listens to Mitski. Like, no, Greg, she just didn't want to look like every other mayo sandwich out there. And repelling you is just a sweet bonus. These guys act like saying septum ring theory is such a gotcha when their entire dating history, assuming they have one, is just a list of women who should have blocked them sooner. You're not exposing her trauma, you're just projecting your own. The real kicker is that to get a septum piercing or any nose piercing, you have to be above 18 in all 50 states. It's probably one of the few laws that's consistent across the union. So what really bothers them is that these women are all definitely above 18 and legal adults. Huh. Anyway, where's that Epstein list?
This whole rant is just another smug attempt at flipping the script instead of facing reality. Notice how she immediately tries to discredit the septum ring theory by mocking men, calling them broke, unemployed, or Reddit addicted. Classic projection. She can't refute the stereotype because deep down she knows it's true. Septum piercings tend to cluster around the same type of woman. Chaotic, bitter, loud, and endlessly screaming about patriarchy while blaming men for every failed relationship. The irony? She claims self-expression isn't a red flag, but then admits it's meant to repel men she doesn't like. So she's literally agreeing with the theory without realizing it. The piercing is a giant filter for her own hostility. And the whole, "you must be bothered because they're legal adults" line, that's just desperate, reaching for shock value instead of substance. Nobody's mad that she's over 18. People are pointing out that by 18 plus, you're still choosing to brand yourself with a universal signal of dysfunction.
Stay away from women with septum piercings. They are horrible people. They are the most evil beings that you will ever encounter on this game that we call life. All right? You know about the devil, but what if I told you there's a reincarnated form walking and roaming this earth and all they got is a septum piercing? And I get what you're saying. Why would you just typecast one group of people, right? It's because it's always been true. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But, bro, everybody with a septum piercing, they happen to be like the sexiest people on earth. That's true. But that is to compensate for how bad of a person they are on the outside. You feel what I'm saying? It's like their heavenly restriction if you know Jujutsu Kaisen. They're going to be so sexy, it has to get balanced out with a flaw. This flaw being that they are evil and bad people. They cannot have both, gang. Just the way you're reacting to this information, I'm already knowing you're not going to listen to my warning, bro. But when you go and tap in because you're being curious, you know what curiosity did to the cat, right? That's the same thing that's going to happen to you. But on the inside, shit's going to numb you. It's going to desensitize you. You're not going to want any other woman after that. You dance with the devil, buddy. I tell you all the time, bro, this shit don't come from nowhere. I speak from experience, gang. Look, and don't make fun of me when I say this, gang. She was light-skinned. She was a nurse. She had a septum piercing. And when it was time to do that you know what tattoo she had on her thigh? She had the rose tattoo with the peacock. But you're not going to listen to me though, right? Okay.
Septum piercing women move like they've got their own rule book, unapologetic, rebellious, and often carrying unresolved chaos they've turned into an identity. That ring isn't just an accessory. It's a billboard screaming defiance, pain, and I've been through something, so deal with it. They wear their trauma like jewelry, making it part of their allure while hiding the darkness it came from. And that's why so many men get hooked. The mix of beauty and brokenness feels intoxicating. But here's the truth. They're not just different, they're damaged. And that edge they flaunt will eventually cut you too.
Men will use almost any characteristic a woman has in order to discredit her. If she has blonde hair, then she's dumb and she doesn't know what she's talking about. If she has coloured hair, then she's a woke lefty liberal, a snowflake, a feminazi. If she has a septum piercing, she's a mentally ill hysteric who's too irrational and too sensitive to have a normal conversation. No matter what you look like, men will concoct some elaborate theory based on misogynistic nonsense as to why you should be ignored and why you shouldn't be taken seriously. The common theme? Men don't want to listen to a woman. Men don't want to believe a woman. And most importantly, they don't want to be proven wrong by a woman.
This isn't about men making things up to discredit women. It's about patterns that keep proving themselves true. Nobody just randomly decided blondes are dumb or septum piercings signal chaos. Those stereotypes exist because enough women embodied them that it became predictable. If every time someone with dyed hair is screaming about oppression, or every woman with a septum piercing is broadcasting her trauma online, people are going to connect the dots.
Since the septum video is going off again, let's go over some of my favorite comments.
This is one of the first hate comments about controlling women, so honorable mention. Shout out the lucky plumber. He likes a good leash hook for his women. However, your logic is flawed because my septum has a gap at the bottom. I would probably get off. This is one, just nothing else, but can I had to take off my glasses because the glare was annoying me. There were a lot of people trying to be like the opposite of woke, and this is Ministry of Truth, really spitting facts. Some women's subconscious longs to be submissive and treated as livestock. They will never admit it, but this is the result. I don't know, I'd kind of like to be a cow in a nice green pasture, just kind of hanging out. I try not to hate on people on the internet unless they hate on me. Single for sure, and she tells herself it's because she's too hot for men who hit on her. I am single. However, this is who commented that. I'm just gonna move on. And then as it started picking up is when like the violence started in the comment section. So this was insane. Septum piercings are fucking stupid. I'm married with 3 kids. I'm 6'4", 225 and jacked. I'd ragdoll your stupid ass. Learn to deal with differing opinions, pansy boy. Imagine threatening to beat someone's ass in the comments section of just some random girl's septum ring video. Like, why are you so upset? Do you need help? Like, I can give you some numbers to ask for help. This one's really just sticking with the septum theory. Nothing mysterious. She's an angry liberal that hates white people, wants a Palestine flag tattoo, and physically shakes if you mention Donald Trump. This one's kind of motivational. Septum rings are used for control and management. By taking it out, you are regaining personal control. I didn't take it out, but this one's an oddball. You look like my old buddy's wife who I slept with a bunch of times. Thank you, but also gross? This was on a follow-up video. You apparently also love to eat. I weigh 100 pounds dripping wet. This one's just kind of boring because, like, I feel like fat shaming someone is just what you do when you can't come up with a funny insult. And then it got so bad, TikTok put on the anti-bullying protector. Don't worry, I approved all of the comments. This guy, he was really adamant. Take it out now. This one was honestly pretty true. Another septum ring theory. It is a toxic warning sign that they have serious issues and it affects everyone within their immediate orbit. You know what? He kind of went off with that one. I don't know. I guess if I had any feedback, it would just be to be more original. Like calling me fat and ugly. Come on, guys. That's child's play. At least do a little bit better. Do a little bit of critical thinking here.
This whole video is just textbook deflection and cope. Instead of addressing why septum piercings get the backlash they do, because they scream rebellion, instability, and unresolved trauma, she tries to make a comedy skit out of it, reading comments like it's all some kind of joke. But here's the truth. People aren't hating because of a little piece of metal, they're pointing out the personality type that always comes with it. Bitter, loud, anti-traditional, quick to play victim, and forever looking for attention. She can sit there mocking commenters all she wants, but deep down she knows the septum piercing isn't just an accessory. It's a red flag.
Okay, ladies, listen. I found a new post. Okay, I found this post. This entire list is incel repellent. Write this down, write this down. Septum ring, blue hair, not believing in Jesus. Check, check. Septum ring, doesn't make banana bread. Loud attitude, ladies. Write these down. No profile picture, by the way, any of them. Nose ring again. I have a nose ring theory. Whatever Anne Hathaway has going on. Like, these people think Anne Hathaway is unattractive. Feminist, woke, septum ring, blue hair. Loud, liberal, woke, Democrat. Oh, they're still working. They're still working.
It's wild because posts like this aren't incel repellent. They're bait. Let's be real. Women make these lists because they want male attention. The whole write this down ladies shtick is just a way of saying, look at me, notice me, validate me. And then the kicker? Other women swoop in and rip it apart out of jealousy, competition, or because they secretly crave the same spotlight. It's not men obsessing over these traits. It's women themselves broadcasting them for engagement, for clout, for reaction. They claim it's about pushing men away, but the truth is, every septum ring, blue hair, loud liberal post is a flare shot into the sky, begging men to look their way. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.